Hey everyone, I'm Sabah and today I will show you how to make this beautiful slimline box skirt with a matching box envelope. I'm using this pretty gingham paper from Crafting Nest's Gingham Galore paper pack. I will also use this gorgeous blue floral embellishments from them. And these resin embellishments as well, you can find more in different themes in their page. For the card base, I'm using white model paper which I've cut to 3.4 into 12.25 inches. I'm going to score the middle and then burnish the fold with the bone folder. So the final card is 3.4 into 6.1 inches. To decorate the front, I have this yellow embossed cardstock which I've cut at 3.2 into 5.9 inches. I'm going to mat this with the gingham paper underneath and I'll cut it at 3.3 into 6 inches. Since so much of this gorgeous paper is going to be hidden underneath, I'll show you a small hack. As both papers are slightly thick, it won't make any difference if I take away some underneath. So I decided to mark 1.5 centimeters all around it and then I cut off the middle part. How much you cut or if you want to cut at all, it's totally up to you. Now that's done, we're going to glue the layers together and then we're going to glue them to the base. I always use a brush to spread the glue evenly so that the sides don't stick up and then smooth it with my trusty bone folder for good measure. Now I have this beautiful window die cut which I'm going to glue in the middle but edging towards the top. I'll add 2 blue flowers in the lower left corner with hot glue. You can use white glue as well. I'm also gluing one in the top right corner. Then I'm adding a few leaves to the flowers. Now I'm adding a sentiment hope that's die cut in golden mirror paper. I organized the letters on my cutting mat, then used a small piece of tape to lift them up together. After gluing and pressing them to the card, I have to make sure that the glue dries properly and then I'll slowly and carefully lift up the tape. Now I'll add the resin embellishments to the top curve of the window to give it a vintage feel. As you can see, I made a small mistake of putting the leaf where I should put the resin embellishment, so I lifted it up and placed the embellishment underneath. I actually think this looks more natural. Then I'm adding a few stones as a finishing. I'm stamping made with all my love sentiment at the back of my card. It's kind of my signature. I also punched a mini gingham heart which I glued to the middle of the sentiment. Now we are going to decorate the inside. First, I am gluing the gingham paper that I cut out earlier to the middle of my base. Then I'm adding a piece of embossed white model paper to the bottom. And I'm cutting out the excess. I'm also adding a white tag to the middle. To that I'm adding a few lines of the poem Hope by Emily Dickinson that I printed out. Then I'll arrange and glue some pieces of flowers and leaves. To finish decorating the inside, I'm gluing a thin strip of gingham paper to the top and cutting off the excess. Now that we've finished making the card, let's move on to the box envelope. I've already made the base, but I'll give you the measurements so you can make it exactly like mine and then score them in places. I've also rounded the corners. You can do that, it's optional. This is the depth part and this is the outside flap that we will glue to the body, just for clarification. I'm just gluing these little flaps and also these flaps that we will glue to the body as I said. Now carefully bring it forward, and the trick here is to use less glue so it dries really quick. Just make sure to hold everything together in place. And make sure you stick that little flap that inside as well. You can use your scissors if you don't have bond folders. And finally, our box envelope is done. Now this is an optional step, but I'll show you how to add magnets to your box envelope. We need magnets and some double-sided tape. We're gonna need 3 magnets. We are not going to use the third one. First, I'm choosing a place where to put my magnet in. Then I'll take a small piece of tape to hold it in place. For this step, we don't need double-sided tape, even a washi tape will do. Then we put another magnet on top of it. And now we need double-sided tape. We'll cut a really small piece and we'll stick it. And we need to peel it off. It takes a bit of practice, but a tweezer really helps. I'll put it back on. And we take our lid and press it lightly to the body. And we'll pull it back fast. Now our magnet is stuck to the body. Use a pencil to lightly mark the place. I took the third magnet. I tested at which direction it attracted the second one and then stuck a double-sided tape to that side. I'm slowly guiding it till it just clicks naturally. So the magnet is not stuck and the tape is helping it stay stuck in place. Now I'm pulling the second magnet out, and obviously the first and third one repel each other. So I'm taking out the first magnet. This is why it's better to use washi tape for this. Now as I drop it, they attract each other naturally. I'm putting tape like shown, and now the magnet is stuck to the lid and our envelope is successfully magnetized. As demonstrated, even though there's a paper in the middle, these magnets are still attracting each other. Isn't this really cool? I always love adding magnets. Now we'll move to the final step where I show you how to decorate your envelope. I have 2 bits of paper here. The Gingham paper is 3.6 into 1.6 inches and the yellow paper is 3.6 into 1.8 inches. I'm just gluing them together and onto the envelope. And I'm cutting off the excess. Now I'm adding 2 pieces of blue flowers. Now I'm adding 2 pieces of leaves to both sides. Now I added a final die cut sentiment and some golden stones to tie up the loop. I'm also going to add a yellow liner to hide the magnet. To make it, I just traced my lid and then used my scales guidelines to draw small diagonal lines and cut around that and rounded the corners. Now our envelope is done and so is our project. I had a lot of fun making this and I hope you did too, and I hope this helped you in some way. I hope you liked the video and stay tuned for more. And make sure you visit Crafting Nest for purchasing these supplies, and see you soon.